So we have a trade, not a major one, but one that I would say is surprising. The Yankees have traded Luis Cessa and Justin Wilson to the Cincinnati Reds for a player to be named later. So this definitely feels like a precursor to some type of move. How big it is, I don't know, but it definitely would signal that. And for me, I'm definitely sad to see Cessa go. I feel like I'm like one of his biggest supporters, and it's strange. He, ironically, the Yankees acquired Luis Cessa and Chad Green for Justin Wilson. So Cessa had been on the Tigers at the time, as was Chad Green, and the Yankees. Justin Wilson had a really good 2015 season for the Yankees, and they traded him, and they got Cessa and Green. And so Cessa has been on the Yankees since 2016, but he wasn't great at first. He was a starter initially, and then he transitioned to the bullpen. And I would say ever since about 2019, and then even and then to 2020 to 2021, he's gotten better and better. Definitely been trending up. I think he was a very underappreciated guy. Now, is this like a huge deal? No. And Justin Wilson's contract, well, it's nothing crazy, but it's not a good one. He's paid about $2.5 million, and he had a player option next year, which I'm sure he was going to accept. So now the Yankees get out of that. So it is a bit of cash clearing. Not a whole lot, but it is. And to me, it kind of feels a little bit like Cessa was thrown in as a bit of a sweetener, just because the Justin Wilson contract isn't a great one. So for Justin Wilson, glad to see him gone, but Cessa definitely upset to see him go. And the Yankees the day before had traded for Clay Holmes on the Pirates, and I guess it kind of makes sense now where Clay Holmes is paid a little bit less than Cessa and Wilson. And I guess I kind of viewed him as like a Darren O'Day type replacement. Holmes' career numbers are nothing impressive. It seems like he has potential. He's like a strikeout guy, under team control. Cessa's after this season has 2 more years of team control. So that's good for the Reds. So yeah, I think Cessa could be a valuable commodity for Cincinnati. I really do. And I know this sounds a little out of the box, but I wouldn't have minded Cessa getting more of a chance within this bullpen. I mean, I like, let's say, and I know Chad Green is definitely way more liked among the fan base, but let's just say for a second, you trade Chad Green. You probably could have gotten some pretty good assets back. And then you move Cessa up a peg, or some combination of that, Lucas Licky, so something else, for me right now, the worrisome part is the top end of the bullpen. I would argue that there is a bit of depth there. Even like Albert Abreu, who I guess in the intro, maybe he comes back. He had been sent down. We'll talk about that on the recap episode of this Rays series. But it appears to me, even though this trade, in a nutshell, you wouldn't think so, I think the Yankees, this signals that they're going to be buyers, that they are kind of opening up some room. And also 2 open spots on the roster, on the active 26-man roster, as well as the 40-man roster. Now you freed up 2 spots. So something is definitely going to happen here. The magnitude, I'm not sure. But look, I don't think anyone's going to be up in arms with this, but Cessa, this proves to me even further. He just wasn't really fully trusted, even though the numbers were great. And I think that he added stability to that bullpen and, was pretty reliable. He could be a multiple inning guy. So I think he was really starting to find his stride in the majors. It took him some time, but I really think he could be good with the Reds. We'll see. But it's too bad that in some way the Justin Wilson signing by Brian Cashman is kind of part of the reason why Luis Cessa is gone. So I think from Yankee fans, you'll see, some sad feelings for Cessa, being gone. Again, he had been really one of the longer tenured Yankees when you think about it. He just kept on kind of surviving. So I guess technically speaking, Cessa and Green, because I remember Green, started out in 2016 as well. So that's kind of when the influx, 16 was kind of the baby bomber year. That's kind of where a lot of it began. And Cessa, there was high hopes for him, and he didn't really deliver on that. But I think he really found a niche for himself. But yeah, I thought that this was definitely worth talking about, and now we're gonna see what happens next. So the Yankees, as we speak, are one game out on the loss side of the second wild card. So they are very much in the playoff mix. If they had went the sellers route, I wouldn't have minded that. What do they have to sell? Not a whole hell of a lot. I mean, they do, but just certain things that I don't see as realistic. So yeah, like I definitely think with the trade deadline in a couple of days, I mean, Clay Holmes even, the Yankees had traded away Hoyt Park, who was with the Yankees briefly just this past week, and infielder Diego Castillo. Clearly, they are making small moves, but I think in turn, something bigger is in play here, and probably some more bullpen arms will be, in that conversation. A left-handed bat, some outfield help, I'd say maybe a shortstop, possibly. I mean, I guess that'd be a bit of a bigger move in terms of then moving Glaber to a different position and everything like that. But yeah, this will be fun just in terms of the unpredictability of what might happen. I hope that they make smart moves. I'm not seeing them make any type of blockbuster deal. You might see some sort of rental type stuff, or maybe even more likely players that are under team control for the next few years. So it's not just a this year move. There's some futures involved. So yeah, we'll see. Again, Luis Cessa. It was a good run, and he and Justin Wilson have been traded to the Reds. We will see what happens in the next few days.